So in my ebook, I talk about picking flexibility development exercises that prioritize movement and tension. So what you can do is actually repurpose traditional strength training exercises for flexibility development and carry over specifically to the splits. So here are some examples. This is a platform elevated sumo deadlift, and you'll notice that I'm actually pulling myself down each rep and kind of bowing the knees out. I'm getting a really strong groin stretch here and an upper back stretch. So typically with these type of exercises, I'll pick 20 to 25% of my 1 rep max, and I'll focus more on doing it for the flexibility rather than the strength. So it's just kind of like a pause at the bottom, and maybe like 3 sets of 6 or something. Not going to fatigue, but just getting good stretches in reps. This is a straight leg deadlift that's platform elevated. Be careful with this one. I know there's a lot of form police out there who are probably worried about the spine, but we're keeping the weight low and we're accentuating the stretch on the hamstrings here and basically the entire back of the leg, so the back of the knee as well. This is going to have good carryover to your front splits. Here is just a traditional wide powerlifting type squat that's been repurposed for flexibility. So there's, again, not much weight on the bar, but just enough to counterbalance and make it a little uncomfortable. And again, really a lot of groin flexibility, and again, I'm bowing the knees out and just the tension is there. So I just rack the weight there. You can see that this is comparable to the sitting stance, which is a very popular prerequisite for the side split positioning. I recommend doing something like powerlifting squat because it's basically the same thing, only better because you're adding weight. So what I like to do with these exercises is actually add them into my split training routines when I'm doing weighted splits or isometric splits or really strong split training. So for example, in my chair split training routine, I'll actually throw these in before I work up to the weighted chair splits. And if you're going to be working any sort of strong splits, which you should, then start thinking about these. Now you can get really creative with these type of exercises. I recommend just sticking to the basic ones, squat and deadlift, because if you complicate it too much, you're probably going to skip them, avoid them, or just pass them all together because it's inconvenient or awkward. So just stick to something like a basic squat and deadlift and use it for flexibility, and it's going to have excellent carryover to your splits. And so this is actually a way to get permanent splits, is to focus on these in the long run and adding weight and doing the normal versions of them with more strength, maxing out and stuff. That stuff's going to help your splits. So think about supplementing your strength training with these exercises and supplementing your splits training with these exercises.